Someone asked me if this guitar was for sale, and I said I can't sell it. It's part of a collection. It's my Kiss collection. It's a 1984 Washburn A20V BBR, the black and red binding. I didn't know they made so many of them. Right next to it is my first guitar. I've had that original. I got it with my brother in 1984. It's a Washburn Tour 24 BBR. If you can see that color. And then I saw this thing online next to it, which is a 1984 4.6 Washburn BBR. And last but not least, I had no idea they even made them. Never saw a picture, nothing. 1984 Washburn FV2V. This one has had a headstock repair. I'll try to keep this steady. This corner sort of broke off, and it's got a tape around it holding it on. I didn't really know it when I bought it, but I bought it because I had the other three. I played it for 2 seconds, but other than that, it's just like it is right out of the box. It's just for show. Has a Kaler. That one has a Wonder Bar. That's a Kaler on the Tour 24. And another Wonder Bar on the A20V. The A20V has been modded. It came with EMG active pickups in it. They weren't really for me, so I've sent it to this guy, and this is what he sent back. I really don't know what's in it. That's like a double humbucker. There's a double rail pickup humbucker. Everything's push-pull. He was supposed to send me all the literature on what he did, but I mean, there's tons of tones on that. It's a great guitar. That's the most playable one. The Tour 24 probably needs some Kaler adjustment to stay in tune a little better, but I kind of retired that, so I don't play that really. I just got my replacement, which is right over here. I just got it yesterday. My replacement for that is a G&L Carina, part of the Carina collection, the ASAT 2, and that is a great guitar. That's my first G&L. And Carina, it sounds like mahogany, but it's real light weight. And I never really had a Carina guitar, don't know much about them, but I love it. Back to the Washburns. I do have an extra set of these. You can see the pickups have the red Washburn. I've got an extra set that I can always put in here to make it like original if I stop playing them all together, but I still play the 4.6 a little bit, which is that one. And the reason I call my Kiss collection is it reminds me of Kiss. Paul Stanley has a Washburn model similar to that in shape. That guitar reminds me of Peter Criss because it's solid, like a solid drummer. That guitar's been dropped a lot. A lot of hands have been all over that. It was in our basement when we were teenagers. But they're built like tanks. They're out of I believe they're all out of the Japanese Matsumoto factory. The 4.6 is fun to play. All the tremolos are great on them, in great shape. And again, the Flying V is really, I'm not really going to play it. I would consider it playable, I guess, but I'm not going to mess with it with the headstock repair. But the bodies on all of them are perfect. All the bindings in perfect shape. You know, you can see a little wear where the there's no pick guard, so it's a little dull in spots. That might capture it on two of them maybe. Well, that's got a pick guard. But other than that, all the binding on all of them, the bodies are great. And when I got them, you can see on this maybe, the neck, it looks black, like it's got a coating on them. And that started to peel off a few years ago in spots on this Tour 24. I never really noticed it, but I don't know if it sat a while or what. But so I sent it out to a guy who did this work, because when I got it back, you can see this neck is a pretty, underneath it were these great rosewood brown necks. They look awesome. I don't know if this captures it. So I've got an extra neck downstairs too if I want to make a guitar. But you can see, hopefully I can capture that. The brown, they're real pretty necks. And this one too, I've had them all rubbed off. Real smooth. So that's the reason I like the Washburns. I know they're built like tanks. That's my Kiss collection. Yeah, there's Paul, Peter, there's Gene, and there's Ace. Ace Frehley actually had a Washburn guitar. Sort of like a signature model. It was some goofy, sort of a V shape with maybe like a carbon neck. But that's my Kiss collection, which turned me onto the Washburns. So I also found some of these. See, you got a WP-80, WP-80, WP-80. I've filmed those. I just got this back from the repair, or from my guy. It's a WP-80. Reminds me, it's my Randy Rhoads guitar. But he sent it back to me. I gotta find a toggle switch for it, cap. But he sent it back to me. If you can see the humbuckers, or the bottom back humbucker is backwards. And even the pickup ring is slanted backwards, so he's got that way off the body, which doesn't always bother me too much, but in this case that doesn't have to be that way. So I've played it. It sounds kind of funky, but it's a great player. But I'm going to switch that back and reset it up. So I've got those. That's an antique burst out front, a sunburst with DiMarzios. That's an all original WP-80. That's one that had a refret a few years ago before I got it. And then you can see the WP-80, which in the brochure said it had an ebony fretboard, but it doesn't really look like it. Maybe ebonized, but it looks like the others. Behind it, I've got a Washburn Idol 570. That's got a rosewood neck, fretboard. That's a great guitar. I believe it has some JBLs in it. That's an awesome guitar. Real thick. You can see that thickness of that. It's probably about as thick as this thing next to it. That's a Hoss, that WP-80. It's going to be a great guitar. Behind it, I've got a Korean Washburn Idol 66 Pro G, which has the soap bar P90s in it. It's a great guitar. Great guitar for the money. Great weight. Great neck. It feels sort of like it's got like a 60s Les Paul kind of neck, as do the other Washburns. Let me move back some. There's the Carvin V220. I've got another Washburn T-Bird downstairs. That's fun. It's not the greatest player, but it's fun. There's a Heritage back in the corner. But the neck on this Carina is more like probably like a 59 Les Paul. It's got some good thickness. It's a Pofaro fretboard. Carina body. It's got a JB. It's got a Seymour Duncan 59 and a Seymour Duncan JB in it. And this is push pull. You can split those, three-way toggle. That's That's just a standard American Strat, which I love. I had one back in the '90s, which didn't fall in love with, so I sold it. It was Inca Silver. I got about '96. I wanted a telly. I didn't like any of them, and one day I played this Lambu Telebration telly. It's got a Lambu neck with a maple fretboard. Great guitar. It's really neat looking too. But it's got the 3 saddles, stays in tune. There you can see the bamboo, or Lambu, laminated bamboo, or whatever it is, but it's neat. So those are some of them. I'll film some more at a later date. I've got some more downstairs. But there's my Kiss collection. Thank you.